Hello everyone, this is Mythreya and today we are going to discuss about refrigeration. So let's start with a basic question. What is refrigeration? So refrigeration is a simple process which involves reducing the temperature of a body by extracting the heat from it using a refrigerant from a refrigeration system. So let's see what is this refrigeration system, what are the different types of refrigeration systems that we have, how refrigeration works, what are the components of refrigeration in the next slides. So let's see what are the components of refrigeration. So we have four basic components in a refrigeration system. First one is a compressor, second one is condenser, expansion valve and evaporator. So let's see what does a compressor does, condenser, expansion valve and evaporator does in a refrigeration system. So let's see what does a compressor does. A compressor is a device which converts a low pressure fluid into a high pressure fluid. It compresses the fluid inside it and then at the outlet we will get a high pressure fluid. So that is how a compressor, that is what a compressor does. What does a condenser do? A condenser is a device which reduces the temperature of a fluid. What does an expansion valve do? An expansion valve is a device in which the pressure at the inlet will be high for a fluid and at the outlet it would be low. So it's like a device which reduces the pressure of the fluid. What is an evaporator? Evaporator is a device uh, in which a working fluid is passed and the temperature extraction, the heat extraction will be done here in the evaporator. So let's see how these four components work in a refrigeration cycle. So this is a refrigeration cycle. The 4 to 1 process will takes place in the evaporator. The 1 to 2 process takes place in the compressor. 2 to 3 takes place in the condenser. 3 to 4 takes place in the expansion valve. So let's begin with the compressor. In case of compressor, the fluid at 1, the vapor at 1 is a low pressure vapor. So when it is passed through the compressor, the pressure increases and we will get a high pressure vapor at the outlet of the compressor. This high pressure vapor will be passed through a condenser in which a phase change occurs and we will get a high pressure fluid at the outlet of the condenser. We should note that the pressure will be same at the inlet of the condenser and the outlet at of the condenser. And this high pressure fluid is passed through the expansion valve and the outlet of the expansion valve we will get a low pressure fluid. This low pressure fluid is passed through the evaporator uh, and we will get a low pressure vapor at the exit of the evaporator. The heat extraction will be done and hence the phase change occurs again and the pressure at 4 and 1 will be the same, just the phase change occurs. So again the cycle repeats as long as the temperature of the body is brought down to the requirement. So this is how a basic refrigeration system and the components are placed in it. So we'll have a compressor and which is passed through the condenser and then to the expansion valve and to the evaporator. The cycle goes in the anti-clockwise direction. Let's see what are the different types of refrigeration systems that we have. So we basically have three different types of refrigeration systems. First one is vapor compression, second one is vapor absorption, and third one is vapor adsorption. Let's see what is an vapor compression refrigeration system. So vapor compression refrigeration system is the system that we have seen until now. So this one consists of evaporator, compressor, expansion valve and a condenser. The same process that we have discussed till now happens in case of a vapor compression refrigeration system. The pressure of the vapor gets increased in the compressor and this high pressure vapor is passed through the condenser and will get a high pressure fluid at the outlet of the condenser, and this high pressure fluid is passed through the expansion valve and we will get a low pressure fluid, and this low pressure fluid is passed through the evaporator and we will get a low pressure vapor at the outlet of the evaporator, and the same cycle continues. This is the cycle that we have discussed until now, and this is the vapor compression refrigeration system. The advantages of vapor compression refrigeration system is that it has the capability of removing large quantities of heat with small mass flow rate of refrigeration or refrigerant, and it has high efficiency. The disadvantages of a vapor compression system are that it's high initial cost and costly refrigerant. Now coming to the second refrigeration system, vapor absorption refrigeration system. A vapor absorption refrigeration system consists of uh, evaporator, expansion valve, condenser that we have in common in vapor compression system. But the only thing that gets replaced in a vapor absorption system is that the compressor. In place of a compressor, we'll be using a generator, absorber, and a pump. In the absorber, we'll be having a ammonia solution, which is basically ammonia and distilled water. This distilled water is passed into the generator using a pump, and this generator heats the solution so that since ammonia has less boiling point, the ammonia gets converted into vapor while heating, and water remains as the fluid. So this vapor of ammonia is passed through the condenser, and the same process which happens in the vapor compression cycle happens in case of a vapor absorption cycle. The only part that is replaced is this compressor, and the remaining process remains the same. The high pressure vapor is passed through the condenser and we'll get a high pressure ammonia fluid, and this is passed through the expansion valve. We'll get a low pressure ammonia fluid, and then it is passed through the evaporator and we'll get a low pressure ammonia vapor, and it is again passed through the solution absorber and then pump and then the generator, and the cycle continues. So let's see what is a refrigerant. A refrigerant is the working fluid in a refrigeration system. It is basically used to remove the heat from the object or the body that is kept in the evaporator. So it is like the basic properties that are required for a refrigerant to be a good refrigerant is that it should have good properties in absorbing heat, and also should be non-toxic and shouldn't cause any harm to the environment. The most common refrigerants that are used today are HFCs and CFCs, ammonia, CO2, etc. The HFCs, which stand for hydrofluorocarbons, CFCs stand for chlorofluorocarbons, and these components are most HFCs have been playing a major role as refrigerants in nowadays refrigeration systems. And the efficiency of refrigeration system is given by eta is equals to heat absorbed by work input. The heat absorbed is taken at the evaporator exit and the entry points, and the work input is taken across the compressor. Since the work input is given as electricity through the compressor, it will be taken across the compressor, and the heat absorption will be taken across the evaporator. So the more the heat absorbed, the more the efficiency will be of the refrigeration system. Thank you. So that's how a refrigeration system works, and we have discussed about efficiency, the types of refrigeration systems, and how a condenser, compressor, evaporator valve, and expansion valve work in case of a refrigeration system. Thank you.